Hello, ladies and gentlemen, dude and dudettes. I'm Matt Burns, and of course, this is The Burning Truth. And let's just say this: I'm not alone as always. I've got my usual partner cam I've had for a long time, John Below, and of course, we've also got. I was just with an interruption then, but I think he wants me to do it this week, so I'll do it this week. He is none other than James Irvine.
Nah, I'll let you get off with that one. I thought I'd let you do it this week.
Yeah, not to worry.
I don't know. I thought you were expecting me to interrupt then. I was like,
Oh,
no. The whole, hi, I'm back. Did you miss me last week thing? It was coming, but I thought I'd let you finish first.
I missed you, JB.
Appreciate that. Thank you. That's one person.
You were missed.
I know. Well, I can only hope. But yeah, great. Anyway, I'm here. It's the Burning Truth. We've got stuff to talk about.
Stuff.
That we do.
Stuff, things, stuff. Yeah, wrestling.
Yes, that we do. But anyway, let's just get down to business because, in case anybody wants to know, this week's going to be a bit of a new start for the Burning Truth. As for why, we'll get down to it. But before we get down to that, would you kindly, JB, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, the following broadcast may contain language used by the three of us idiots that may not be suitable for those of a sensitive disposition, those who are easily offended, and younger listeners. It may also contain topics and storylines and associated language not suitable for other listeners. This programme may also contain strobe lighting effects.
Yeah, I'd say that's about right. That sounds about right. What was that?
Don't say fuck all bugger.
Calm down, Davina.
Oh, you complete rebel, Richie. But don't forget, we are not saying fuck this year. Oh, fuck!
Oh, fuck! Again, fuck!
Anyway.
Oh, Richie. No, I'm not going to do that. Even I can't get away with that.
Well, no. Save it. Anyway.
Yeah, but Richie, can we say Heidenreich? Yeah, see what I did there? I swapped a grade 1 swear word for its wrestling equivalent.
Damn it. Anyway, let's move on.
Let's get on with the show, shall we? Enough.
That we do, because we've got to basically jump into what we normally always mention, which is the fact that the Burning Truth is in full support of Black Lives Matter and of course hashtag Speaking Out. We do still offer that basically if you want to have your voice heard on the Burning Truth, you're more than welcome to get in contact with us, and we'll actually air your own words in regard to Black Lives Matter and hashtag Speaking Out, just as long as there's no accusations and anything that is
essentially
basically reliable.
Essentially, if it's proven fact and you just like to give your side of the story, that's fine, but we do not want us or you to get sued, so make sure this is only after any claims you have or may have been taken to the relevant authorities first and thoroughly fact-checked. Thank you.
Yes, because fact is a word that we like to use on the Burning Truth. Fact.
As in, everything is totally fact.
Yeah. Non-fictional. It's fact.
That's about right. That sounds about right. But anyway, we've got to move on quickly because we've got plenty to discuss. In case we're going to be what we're going to be doing this week, we're actually going to be doing a bit different. A lot of you are probably going to be sitting there thinking, haven't you got to go through the Hell in a Cell predictions? We'll explain that why we're not doing it on this episode.
Yes, we have done the predictions, but we're not going to be running through them on this episode. We'll explain why.
We, of course, also got to, because of it being Hell in a Cell, we've got a bit of an interesting topic in regards to worst and best.
Yeah, because we are going to, of course, go through the Hell in a Cell moments through the history of the event, as in the whole pay-per-view, and before that, just the matches, that everyone remembers and goes, oh, yeah, fantastic. and the ones that everyone sort of slaps their forehead and goes, what were they thinking? Because trust me, there are plenty of both.
Pretty much. And on top of that, we are also going to be, more importantly, discussing women's wrestling.
Because it was really important, and they had the women's revolution, and there was loads of momentum, and well, it seems to have stalled a bit. I mean, the women's division in most major companies is now healthy, and that's good. But yeah, we need to discuss. I think the basic gist of it is it's great how far it's come, but they can always do more.
Yeah, stalled.
Yeah, that's about right. But at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, that is an actual topic that wasn't brought to us. That was brought up by us. But we'll explain that one when it arrives.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, unfortunately, we have once again got to start off this episode with some unfortunate news.
In the fact, tragic news, yes.
Which right, which is unfortunate because unfortunately the British wrestling scene lost an absolute legend of the Wrestling Squared Circle, and someone who I actually knew quite well.
Terrible.
It generally is because, in case if anyone wants to know his name, it's Mike Weaver. Genuinely, at the age of 53, we don't know the full details of what was the cause. However, unfortunately, when he did pass away, it was absolutely shocking news. And nobody saw it coming. It's basically come out of nowhere. And all I'll say to you is, Mike Weaver was a fan of the old school style. But at the same time, while he was also a fan of the old school style, he was someone who was always. He didn't do wrestling for basically. Oh, I want to be a wrestler because I like wrestling. He did it because he didn't just like wrestling. He absolutely had a love and passion for it, and was always there to help the next generation build up. Genuinely one of the gentlest people to ever know, and I can honestly say from my own from my own heart, and everyone who probably knew him or ever even encountered him would know how much of a warm and gentle person he was. So with that, we are going to do the 5-bell ring on the Burning Truth. Thank you very much for the silence as well. Genuinely,
I don't want to cast aspersions because we've lost someone. It's sad and tragic, but I didn't hear any bells then.
It was being played.
Okay.
There was bells.
Well, no, you might,
yeah. I was ringing the bells. Don't worry. The bell was wrong. You must have been having an issue with your headset.
Okay, as long as it was there. I'll just state for the record I didn't hear it, but nonetheless, rest in peace.
It was definitely there. I can verify that because my arm's actually tingling from it.
Okay.
But yeah, let's just say, genuinely, he was one. He is a beloved person. Will be greatly missed, massively, and hearts out to his family, his friends, colleagues, and everything. Rest in peace, Mike Weaver.
Rest in peace, mate.
Rest in peace.
Right.
I
With
have this
what?
strange compulsion to say we will meet again every time someone dies because I've been watching loads of the 100 recently. Which is a bit weird because it's not like... I think I met him all of once. But nonetheless, it's a nice sentiment, you know? Whatever happens after you die, I'll see you then. In the meantime, have fun.
Which he will. Genuinely,
And
you know.
we will all continue to live as best we can and mourn in a suitable way.
That we will. That we will. Right, we are. I couldn't have said that better myself. Genuinely, JB, that was absolutely, really, really pleasant, and genuinely, thank you very much for that. And that's just, I'm pretty sure his family and friends will appreciate that as well.
Absolutely, that was the intention. So I sincerely hope so.
And now, with that now being said, we are going to move on to the WWE. But not as long as you think. Anyway, we're going to discuss the WWE in the fact of we have the Hell in a Cell predictions. And well, we already mentioned that we weren't going to be talking about it.
Yeah.
And the reason being is we've already done it. You already know what they are. They're already out. They're already out.
Social media savvy.
That you are. And in case if anybody is not on social media, check on the website. On the Burning Truth website, that is.
I was going to say, what, on WWE.com? Are they letting us on there?
Yeah, we're just too important for them to pass up, you know.
Absolutely.
Well, if you think about it, we're still waiting on the paychecks from them.
Well, we keep saying, every time we have these ideas, we keep saying checks payable to the Burning Truth.
Yeah.
But then, essentially, it's always up to Mr. Matt Burns and to let us know if he actually gets sent any.
Yeah, well,
Sadly,
I did mention last week that he's proper into nail polish, so, he's probably still on that.
I do not... What the hell is your issue with nail polish?
Well, I'm just saying, I know how you do. You know what I was saying?
Listen, I have nothing to do with nail polish. Nothing.
Unless he's painting his nails or his fingernails or toenails, ladies and gentlemen.
In what might be a first for a controversial subject such as this, I'm staying well out of this.
I think you best have on a tinkle.
Hey, that wasn't me. That is simply what my alter ego would be if I was a member of Repercussions, which I'm not.
Which I'm beginning to think that all members of that faction is probably regretting to being in that faction.
Something tells me that the other one, or Mercedes Martinez, as she's now gone back to being known, probably made the right choice there.
Oh yeah, we covered that one.
Yeah, we already covered it. But anyway, let's just jump into it. It's on the website. It's under the blog section. And yes, I know people. The blog session it is back.
It's back with a vengeance.
It has. It's only taken 2 years.
Yeah, that's what happens when you paint your nails, Mr. Burns. It's like you're unwilling to pull your fingers out.
Anyway, moving on. We'll just get on to the next subject, which is to do with the Hell in a Cell, seeing as it is it is the Hell in a Cell event today, tonight, whatever you want, depending on where you are.
Yes.
Well, tonight for us, today in a different country, doesn't matter.
Sort of in the land where it is being broadcast, I believe it's happening sort of the time that we're at now. about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe at start time.
Yeah.
6 o'clock
That's
ish,
about right.
something like that. It should be on now, except it's not. Oh, it's 5, 6 o'clock American time, which means it's going to be like 1 a.m. here. You know the deal.
Yeah.
It's how pay-per-views have been since they existed.
Pretty much. But anyway, let's just jump onto it. Excuse yourself, anyway.
I'm afraid that is my considered 2 pence worth about Hell in a Cell, so let's move on, shall we?
Anyway.
I am really sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't even have to. I was literally, my hand was a centimetre out in front of me, reaching for the mute button on my microphone, and that's as much warning as I got. So my sincerest apologies.
Could be worse. Worse, you could have been me walking around the local superstore, and next thing you know, I burp in my own mask.
Grim.
It was so lovely. I taste myself.
It was unrepentantly unpleasant, I'm quite sure.
Oh, yes.
But anyway, let's just get back onto the original topic. We've got to discuss, which is
us going off topic? Surely not.
Never.
Let's back onto topic.
Carry on.
Back onto topic, which is we're going to discuss first what we think is the worst Hell in a Cell match.
Oof.
Yeah, I think we should take it in turns.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. Well, let's start, shall we, with a nice easy one. I mean, I don't mind which one you pick because, unfortunately, there were 2 of them in consecutive years. But CM Punk against Ryback, neither of them were anything other than large, incredibly well steroided turds.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that would be 2012 to 2013.
I believe it was 2010 and 11, but I could be wrong.
No, I think it was 12 and 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was 12 and 13, yeah. Because the 13 one, the second one, was with Paul Heyman, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yes, which unfortunately did nothing to make it any better.
It just hurt more.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. List of... Yeah, okay.
That I will say is a good contender.
Yeah.
Yep.
Irvine, have you got anything to top it?
Well, I've actually just remembered from what we were talking about earlier that there is actually another one that I really, really, really hated. I take you back to 1998, and it was on an episode of Raw is War, and it was The Undertaker and Steve Austin versus Mankind and Kane.
Yeah,
1998.
Yes.
Yep.
It was a tornado tag team match, which also just happened to be inside the cell for reasons never really properly explained.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
it was kind of like put the slightly unhinged masked blokes together against a couple of other guys who have no real affiliation, and bingo! Ratings gold. I mean gold.
Yeah. So that was one that I've just remembered, but I think nobody could be any more disappointed in a Hell in a Cell match than I was watching Seth Rollins and The Fiend last year.
Well, that I think we should leave for a bit and come back to, because I think that is possibly the absolute pinnacle.
Yeah.
But before we do that, let me take you back to Toronto on September the 17th, 2006 for the first match in the new, improved, bigger Hell in a Cell structure.
Before we get onto that, though, any chance I can get my mention in?
No, you're not allowed.
No, me and Irvine are going to just have a chat, and you can sit there and listen and just
Mm.
curse at the direction your program is taking. No, of course you can. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. But anyway,
Right, that's
mine.
it. No Japanese shampoo commercial match for you this year.
Yeah.
No.
No. Anyway,
No.
luckily none of that ever happened in Hell in a Cell, so we don't have to mention that anymore.
It could very well happen in the future, seeing as how certain matches are happening tonight. But we digress anyway.
Anyway, yes.
M-
Before I go
m-
into my next one, I suppose you should say one. So please
What
go
makes
ahead.
what makes mine really bad is the fact that this was a main event match at WrestleMania.
Which just goes to show that not every WrestleMania moment is not. Well, not every WrestleMania match is golden. Even supposed golden moments can, in fact, be shit-encrusted turkeys.
And are you ready for this? I could very well. This even has a moment in here that could very well end up on our, I believe, our epic wrestling moments for how bad it was.
Oh, for an epic fail. Okay,
Yeah.
go on.
Oh, definitely.
Which one is it? Because
But I'm not going to put that epic fail in. We'll mention it. It'll get mentioned, but we'll save that for another week.
Okay, that's fine. But for now, it's just an epically bad Hell in a Cell match. So,
Oh,
which one is it?
It would be The Undertaker versus the Big Boss Man at WrestleMania 15 in 1999.
Which I would just like to point out barely counts as a Hell in a Cell match on account of its, what are we talking, like sub 10-minute with introductions runtime.
Yeah.
It's and everything that happened in it, which we'd rather not go over, but.
Well, fair though, I mean, at least one of the wrestlers did hang around for a bit.
Oh, for God's sake!
But it didn't half make the audience twitchy.
You know what? We'll cover it. I don't care. We'll classify it as the epic fail moment for this week.
All right, so we'll mention that in a bit more detail later.
Yeah.
But, but as I was going to say, I'm pretty sure, like, as I said, from 2006, the 2-on-3 handicap match pitting DX against Vince, Shane, and the Big Show runs it pretty close.
Yeah. Or John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio versus CM Punk versus Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger.
That was actually a dark match after Raw in 2011.
Yes, but there was all them people in it, and the whole thing lasted about 5 minutes, and the word clusterfuck comes to mind.
It's dark. It's a dark match. It doesn't get. No.
I think I would rather do. I'd rather put my testicles in the microwave to see if they swell, and I could use them as one of them bouncy balls.
I think I would honestly rather watch an entire episode of Gogglebox with sellotape over my mouth so that I had to swallow my own vomit.
Okay, you win that one, JB.
I'm just slowly having a brain aneurysm.
I would rather be sellotaped to Noel Edmonds, naked, without earmuffs or a beard guard.
I'd rather go swimming in... Oh, no, I better not say that.
No.
I better not say that.
Warning, potentially libelous content. Halt that right there.
Yeah, I shall not go over that one, because if I do, I could be in a lot of trouble.
You would rather do something that you cannot mention for legal reasons. Bit of a letdown, but it keeps you safe.
Basically, what he's saying is he'd do something illegal that would get him into serious trouble with the courts, rather than
He'd actually rather get himself possibly
arrested.
perjured in courts, possibly arrested, and almost certainly do prison time than. Yeah, that's how much he isn't interested in this match.
And follow it up with probably meeting a guy named Bubba.
No. Never mind.
No. We're not in the southern states of America. He's probably more likely to be called Dave.
Here, no matter. I'd be in the kill cell with Billy Bob, and I'll be taking be taking my French fried potatoes and taking it up the butt.
I'm gonna stop you right there once again. Let's move on, shall we? Have you got another crap Hell in a Cell match before this goes any further?
Yeah, I actually do.
Well, I'm talking to Irvine because I think it's his turn. If we insist on doing it in turns, but okay.
Yeah, I've got one myself, but let Irvine throw his in first.
So, where were we again? Sorry, now I've lost
You've just
myself.
mentioned the abomination.
No, Irvine mentioned the Cena Alberto CM Punk.
Oh,
Ziggler
okay,
Swagger.
yeah, but I thought you said that didn't count.
I'm doing that in denial because
Okay, fair enough. Right, so it is indeed your turn then.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to go with Undertaker.
Yes.
Versus CM Punk.
A match that could have been so much more than it ended up being.
Hell in a Cell 2009.
Yes.
Which one do you want to decide on? Being the worst.
On. What? We haven't even mentioned Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon yet, which was a Hell in a Cell and also a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Ooh.
We haven't even mentioned Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. That was a Hell in a Cell match that ended in the no contest.
No. Why would you say that evil man's name?
What? No contest?
You mean 2018?
I do, yes.
When it happened.
And I haven't even got anywhere close to mentioning Roman Reigns beating Rusev for the United States Championship in a snorefest for the ages.
Oh, what makes it worse for me is the fact that 2018 and 2019 technically had the same finish.
Yeah. What, as in
the match going out?
This is a match that guarantees a finish. There's going to be no finish.
Yeah, because the first one involved Brock Lesnar coming in and attacking both of them, and was thrown out because he ripped off the doors and basically attacked them.
Is it just me, or should there be a gimmick where the door is more armoured every year as an attempt to keep supposed superstars from being able to rip it off like it's made of the tinfoil it is actually made of?
Yeah, well...
like a little running gag with the crowd.
Well, no. Take into account, I think they probably took a pot shot of that on Raw this week, with Orton explaining his story in the cage for then Drew McIntyre coming down and getting into the cell by literally getting a pair of butt cutters and getting in, and then Raw going off the air as he's getting in the ring.
You promised him that you weren't going to spoil that for him.
I don't care. That's not what I'm spoiling.
I don't feel like it's been spoiled. Raw has been spoiled just by existing for me since it basically since it went to 3 hours. And what was that, like 10 lifetimes ago? It feels like it.
Yeah, it was. I know I promised I would, but that one he pushed the button too much.
Because I mentioned too many crap Hell in a Cell matches.
Yeah, he pushed it. Yeah.
Right, quick. Let's flip this on its head. Quick. Let's just focus on the good points when it went
personally,
well.
is anybody are we going to decide on which one's the worst?
Yeah, the Boss Man.
Man?
Yeah, I'll go with the Boss Man.
Oh, yeah, Boss Man. Okay, right, let's jump on to...
As crap as Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon was, I think the Boss Man just edges it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the worst with Kevin Owens, because at least it had a little bit of storytelling in it, at least.
Well, yeah, anyway. Kevin Owens tried, but, there's only so much you can
Sammy.
do. Yeah.
So anyway, let's get on to...
The best.
The echelon, the upper tier, wow.
Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to find one that I can mention. I don't want to go straight in absolutely at the top.
Would you like me to throw one out?
Assuming it's not the one I was going to say, which I won't know until you do it, but yeah.
I'm going to go with No Mercy, 2002.
Oh, okay.
Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker.
It
Interesting.
was a match that didn't go out. It stayed contained in the cage,
Yeah.
but was absolutely brutal and barbaric
Yeah.
in the match, and I believe it was the story that was being built up
Yes.
around it as well. It was really, really done absolutely epically. If I'm not mistaken, you'd got Lesnar at one point in a bit of the, I believe in the hype video, looked like he was about to grab Undertaker's ex-wife Sarah,
Yes.
now ex-wife, as I believe she was pregnant at the time, was she?
Possibly. I don't recall.
Or something or other.
Yeah,
but the point being
yeah.
is, he basically was laying, almost looked like he was about to lay his hand on Undertaker's wife, which straight away, and on top of that, Taker also had a busted hand as well. So Taker was coming in. What?
I was going to say, let's ask DDP why that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, this is supposed to be a celebration of good, not of...
Yeah, good.
However, take into account, I think Lesnar was the one who actually he ended up winning the match.
He did.
So he sort of got away with it.
Yes.
Why didn't DDP call him? Anyway.
Moving on. I'm thinking of one that is going to definitely be in the top 3.
Yeah.
Let me take you back a couple of years from the Lesnar match to February 2000. And the singles match for the WWF Championship between Triple H and Cactus Jack.
I was actually just about to say that as well.
I think you know the guy. And his name is Cactus Jack.
You get.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, the storyline leading up to that.
You absolute get.
Let me guess.
That was gonna be my number 1 pick.
Okay,
well, it's definitely my top 3, but
yeah, definitely, because I'd agree with you on that one, because epic. Would you care to discuss why you mentioned you bringing it to the table?
Because it was an absolutely fantastic example of 2 gentlemen beating the ever-loving crap out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Mick Foley at his absolute peak.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken...
that anyone needs to see.
And if I'm not mistaken, it's also covered by WWE on the network under the Untold series as well.
Yes.
And just the storytelling of that match was absolutely epic. Would you agree? Would you agree, Irvine?
Who's Avine? I mean Irvine.
Irvine. I said Irvine.
He's getting your 2 names mixed up, Eddie.
Yeah. Good job he didn't say Hitler.
At least I didn't say Chris either. Anyway.
It's Chris Hitler.
Nobody. Anyway, let's move on.
Swiftly on.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that. Storyline was great. I did love it. It's in my top 3.
Yeah.
It is definitely in my top 3. But I have actually got one that I think that it might not be everyone's top choice, but for me, my top choice would be Undertaker versus Mankind. Now, that, for me...
Is this King of the Ring?
Well, yeah.
1998.
Yeah, 1998. It's not because of the quality of the match, it's because what it represented.
Well, because of what it represented was basically, I believe, 3 separate occasions to shout at your television screen, "Fuck me, Foley's dead."
Yeah, the oh my god moments, and the old Jim. Oh my god!
No, I think the line you are referring to is As God is my witness, he's broken in half.
That is the one.
And the other one that follows it up is after the second fall, which is, for God's sake, will somebody please stop the damn match?
Yes. The moment when reality broke into the calling of the match and Jim Ross's very real feelings came through very strongly.
Yeah, very
Because
strong.
for the second time in 10 minutes, he had genuinely been made to think, fucking hell, Foley's dead.
Yeah. It's like I say, it's just, you know, thank God that he's okay. Like, you know, Mick Foley's okay.
Yeah.
What happened, but
Well, he's probably feeling the repercussions of it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course,
There's a reason why he can't stand up from sitting position without assistance from a second party.
And the reason why he walks like a shaking, shitting dog.
Or an old man who's shat himself.
Genuinely, I've got to say thank you to McFoley because of this match at the same time. Yes, they raised the bar, but my God, this didn't just show just a few people. This enough showed the world how much physical abuse a body can handle.
It didn't just show that, though. What it really, really showed was the turning tide in the Monday Night Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
like we are literally willing to pull out all the stops here. We will, to all intents and purposes, shorten the career of one of our top superstars by 10 years for your entertainment.
And you know what's even weird? It wasn't even Vince's idea.
No, it wasn't.
Nope.
Vince went ballistic over it.
And then when got the reactions that he got in true Vince style, it's like, oh, it's not my idea, but that was a great match, guys.
Well, I would just like to point out that it wasn't anybody's idea for the fall from through the roof of the cage, because that wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, that was actually a botch, believe it or not.
Believe it or not, the planned high spot of Foley falling off the side of the cage through the announce table was as holy fuck as it was supposed to get.
Yeah. And credit to the Spanish announce team for moving when he came flying.
Yes.
Did you ever wonder why Mankind wore brown pants?
Well, now you know.
Now you know.
Nice and
this is the second fall was so unplanned and so shit. We're in uncharted waters here. He might genuinely be crippled. That good old Terry Funk even made an appearance solely to distract the Undertaker, eat a choke slam, and take attention away while medics checked that Foley was still alive.
Although from said choke slam, I couldn't stop laughing at what happened to Terry Funk's shoes.
What? Because basically Funk went 10 feet in the air and then came crashing down, at which point he met his shoes, which had never left the canvas.
he basically got choke slammed out of his shoes. Literally.
Yes. Because you could tell that he'd thrown them on in quite a considerable hurry.
Oh crap, I think Mick's just killed himself.
I need to get down there and see my friend and maybe buy him some time while they resuscitate him. Shit, where are my shoes?
And Mick Foley is having to wake up to see a pair of sneakers in the ring.
Yeah. And to spit out 3 of his teeth.
Speaking of Terry Funk, I was actually just flicking through YouTube the other day, and it's actually popped up with Austin Chainsaw Charlie.
Chainsaw Charlie.
And Owen Hart versus DX. It was such a mess of a match, but I was genuinely entertained because of good old Chainsaw Charlie.
Because seriously, when is Terry Funk not entertaining?
Exactly. His no selling was perfect. It was great. It was like Mongo.
I knew it was coming.
It was like what? Sorry?
Good old Mongo.
Good old Mongo. Never mind that shit. Here's Mongo.
Here comes Mongo. But anyway, we digress. You've gone for that one. I've
Have
got
I
to pick another.
mentioned? Have I done one, or is it your turn?
It's mine. It's got to
Okay.
come back to you.
All right, cool. Because there's one more I just want to mention, but after you.
Because I believe I went first. This is my second one, which is 1997.
Phew, it isn't the one I chose. Go on.
Bad Blood in Your House.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels.
The very first ever Hell in a Cell match. The one that set the bar.
Pretty much.
And then got knocked off the next year.
Yeah. But it wasn't a bad bar to set, was it?
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I'll miss you when you play bingo.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's like 1997. It was absolutely epic, and the odd thing about it is when it came to King, compared to King of the Ring, I believe Mick Foley was saying, "How were they going to top it?" And they did what they did, but still, the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels one, I'm including on this list simply because A, it's the first one, and two, what a way to tell an absolutely amazing story.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And how to actually deal with someone invading the Hell in a Cell.
That, in a certain way, set a bad precedent because it was like, this is the first one of these, and you've already got someone breaking in. Yeah, but the thing is, it worked.
It worked because it was Kane, and then secondly, the fact that Kane tombstoned Undertaker and the referee didn't go, throw the match out, disqualification. No, because there's no damn rules.
That's the whole point, yeah. Nobody got stopped because they got their feelings hurt.
As well.
Yeah.
And absolutely brilliant. Brilliant match. One I recommend anyone to check out. How about yourself? Now,
my final choice is one that I think gets overlooked and a format which I'm surprised WWE don't do more of.
Go on.
Which was from December 2000.
Ooh.
The Armageddon Hell in a Cell, which pitted Kurt Angle against The Undertaker, Triple H, Stone Cold, Rikishi, and The Rock.
Yeah, good shout.
I'm amazed that as a result of how awesome this match was, WWE didn't do, like I said, more 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 man. Although, to be fair, I suppose that's what they invented the Elimination Chamber for. But this match was epic.
I think it was because of the fact that it has so many combustible elements, and the fact that I don't think they could keep producing hay for taking to throw somebody off into.
Was it hay or was it sand?
It was hay.
Okay.
Because if it was sand, there was sand is going to stop Rikishi from falling off the Hell in a Cell.
I think it might have been hay with some form of sand or something underneath it, judging by the cloud came out when he landed.
Potentially, but the point being is...
Because he farted.
Credit to where credit is due. Rikishi taking a chokeslam from Undertaker off the Hell in a Cell.
Is going above and beyond. There's no two ways about it. And
on top of that, and everyone's thinking, oh, that's easy. No, because bear in mind, right, you got Mick Foley who's getting thrown forward so we can at least see where he's going. And then you've got Shane McMahon who's taking the leap down himself, but at least he can see where he's going.
Yeah, Rikishi, not only was he going backwards, but he was completely reliant on someone else throwing him. So he had no control over his fall.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's got to... That all I can see off my own head is... do you know what I'm going to classify that as? The most epic trust fall ever.
Absolutely.
We've all had trust falls, but that is just like...
That's just taking it one step too far. I
literally trust you with my entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely right up there. Can I just ask another random question as well? Because I've seen it I've got the list from Wikipedia of all the Hell in a Cell matches.
Yeah.
I've seen it in the list, and I've got a feeling it might have been good because it contains two people who don't really have bad matches unless it's their opposition's fault. but I
Alright.
don't remember it at all.
Go on.
And it was from SummerSlam in August 2008.
Edge, by any
SummerSlam.
chance?
It was The Undertaker against Edge.
Yeah, brilliant match.
I was going to say, I have a feeling it wasn't crap because we haven't mentioned it yet in the rubbish
No.
ones, but I don't remember it at all.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
It was a very, very good match.
Oh,
I
fair enough.
think the match was set up because Edge had somehow been caught cheating on Vicky Guerrero.
Yes.
Ah, right.
That's
That storyline.
Yeah, that storyline. It could be worse. It could be. Actually, no. We'll cover that in the next segment.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
could be that, but let's not get to that yet.
Yeah, we'll not get to
Tease
that.
But yeah, okay. So we've covered the worst and we've covered the best.
Well, actually, we've got one more to have mentioned yet.
Oh yeah, the all-time worst ever: Roman
No.
Reigns versus Jey Uso in an I
No.
Quit Hell in a Cell match. That's gonna suck donkey balls.
No. We haven't had Irvine's last pick.
Oh, my apologies.
My last pick.
Carry on.
Yeah, you only
No,
had
I
one
thought
pick.
we all went round, and then I just mentioned the extra one in the Edge one because I wasn't sure about it. I didn't know.
No, because it was me who went first on the best one, then you, then Irvine, back to
Alright.
me.
Hey, Eddie, you get another pick.
I get another pick.
What are you going to go with?
I'm just actually going to have a look through the list now, see which ones jog my memory. Oh, actually, I'm going to go with WrestleMania 28, Undertaker versus Triple H. I actually really enjoyed that match.
Yeah.
I really, really did. I also,
2012.
I also enjoyed the Triple H and Batista one from Vengeance 2005.
I actually thought that was good. Yeah, that was a.
That's a good one.
That was a solid one, good storytelling, yeah.
And the fact that Triple H took a spine buster on the steel steps.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Listen,
great.
I know a lot of people saying, but it's aluminium, it's not hard. They still have to step on them, so they have to be able to handle their weight. Being slammed on metal isn't nice.
Yeah, especially when it's a piece of metal which isn't the entire length of a human being, so your back has got to bend across it by the sheer force of you landing on it. It's not nice.
To our listeners, I will just say that I have slipped over getting out of my car on a packet of Haribos, landing on my arse and really hurting myself. So, being spine busted onto aluminium steps is going to fucking suck.
Thank you for that admission of unbearable idiocy.
The pack of Star Mix as well.
You have literally dissolved Matt Burns.
I'm just... I don't know whether laugh or cry.
The clean-up crew. Clean up and oil Matt Burns.
I don't know whether laugh or cry because it's hilarious that it's happened. But I'm crying because it's Haribo.
It's Haribo. How the most innocent thing that you could think of when you were a child was a packet of Haribo. How could you really hurt me this way?
I'll counter that, Sunshine.
I'm actually more angry at you for stepping on it.
For wasting such glorious gummy sugariness.
Exactly. Even though I can't have any of it anymore.
Rat of a child that had spilt them all over the floor. It's not like I can get on my hands and knees after and just go, ooh, that one's one of the hot ones.
Oh, there's only a tiny bit of a footprint and my arse print on that one.
If I spit on it and rub it for a little bit, it might taste better.
We're not classifying it as the 5-second rule, are we here?
I think that would have been like the 6-month rule. That would have happened.
Seriously, gummy bears are pretty much indestructible. It could have been the 600-year rule.
So basically, we've now got Irvine who's been assaulted by Haribo.
Yeah, I've been assaulted by...
I can add to that for unbearable physical pain out of the complete blue. I once had a wrestling match with Adam Lake.
No. That's just no.
We'll save that story for 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay. Can I just say?
I hope we forget.
Classic. Best match
But-
of Lake's career. Anyway,
But anyway, let's digress. What we're going to pick is the number one best.
number one best. I've got a feeling we're all going to choose different here.
Yeah, I think we will.
It'll come down to a vote.
All right, I tell you what, can we put votes up on the social media? Like,
Yeah,
we
I
can
think
all
that'd
pick
be
our
best.
best one and people can vote on them.
I think that's a good idea. I think
That's
I
a
think
good
well,
idea.
people should really, really interact with us on this one because you know.
Agreed, because, yeah, we've got the listeners, and because of a couple of weeks ago when they gave us, the jokes and the names and stuff, we know they're there and they like interacting, so we might as well give them something to bite.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to get the list, and just so you know, unfortunately, the only one that we'll actually be able to. I'm just trying to think where we can actually put up the list on social media on there because
Well, you can do polls on Twitter.
Yeah, you could do polls on Facebook as well.
we'll set it up. Hopefully, fingers crossed that we can, and hopefully get that out.
Vote
Yeah.
now. The winner gets a title shot at Taboo Tuesday.
No.
Okay,
When-
anyway.
When-
So
when-
go on
I-
then.
I'm
Wait.
not being held responsible for that one. But anyway,
Irvine, what's your pick for the best one? Your pick? What's going on the poll to represent you?
For the best or the worst, are we doing both or just the one?
best.
Just
We
best.
don't-
Let's just
I
stay
think
positive.
I think we've done worse. We all knocked it out of the park with that one because we all picked the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I am still. Well, mind you, I don't know whether to change my mind now.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
If you're not
No.
sure, I'm just laying it out here. Mine's the Armageddon one, so I'm picking that.
Okay.
The 6-man.
I'm actually, stuff it. I'm going to go with The Undertaker Mankind, King of the Ring, 98.
Fair enough.
And I'm going to go with Triple H versus Cactus Jack, No Way Out 2000.
I think those are the three best, so it is up to our delightful listeners to choose which one is the outright best, according to the
And
Burning
there are ones that the listeners probably would say, "Oh no, we're Edge and the Undertaker was the better match." That's fine, but we're just picking what.
Yeah,
we thought.
these are our individual three best choices, and we just want to
What
know
I might
which is
suggest,
the best of
Dan-
the best of the best.
What I might suggest, Dan, is if they actually disagree with us,
Yeah, well, the thing is with Twitter, you
Well-
can do up to four options. So
No.
if they want to disagree, you can put other, please specify as the fourth option, and then if they do agree that none of them are, they can tell us which one they think is.
I was about to say, put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do that. Do.
Do.
Anyway, we digress. But
As
anyway,
appears to be our speciality.
that it
Yeah.
does. But it's interesting to say because this is going to be an interesting one because it's going to be difficult to pick from. But anyway, we need to lead into our next subject, I believe,
Yeah.
which is, if I'm not mistaken, women's wrestling.
Oh, speaking of women's wrestling, let's see into this a bit, shall we? Ivana's back.
I've on a tinkle. Hey.
Yeah. Right up there with Santina Morella for possibly worst women's gimmick ever. Don't use it, people in wrestling, please.
Now, we'll not rant onto that side of it, but what we're going to discuss, because if I'm not mistaken, Irvine, you were approached with this one.
Yeah, while you
Yeah.
set it up, like I said, I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, tinkle.
Right, you are.
Okay,
Eddie.
Ivana.
Go
Okay.
get trounced by Michael Schumacher while you set this up.
That's okay. Don't get drinking any more energy drinks.
Now it's Dr. Pepper this week.
Oh, God.
At least it's
Other
not
fizzy
Monster.
drinks are available.
At least you don't have lunch this shit.
It's not Monster. No.
No,
That just wouldn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. But anyway,
Anyway, I'll be back in a minute while you set this up.
yeah, I believe. Anyway, let's get back onto it. Irvine, you were approached with this, weren't you?
well, you can't really say approached. I was
Messaged.
message off a usual listener, a consistent listener, who I will pay homage to in a moment. But I did ask if there are any topics that you'd like us to cover, and she actually said yes. She'd like to hear more about women's wrestling. Who has the better talent on the respective brands? WWE. That's also including like Raw, SmackDown, NXT. And then you've got Impact Wrestling and AEW. So we can discuss that in a moment. But thank you for that, Tiki. It was absolutely, really, genuinely a brilliant idea. And thank you for the input.
Yeah, and we've already had a message from them.
Have we?
Yeah, saying thank you. That we have, and I'm just literally sending one back. So there's one on verbally from us, and also what I'm just going to state on it. Tick, you are welcome. Well, actually, I'll just trying to think. Do I need to get that corrected? Yeah, it's you're welcome, because I don't want to see CM Punk come down on me as a grammar Nazi.
Grammar Nazi.
Yeah, but anyway, the point being is,
Ooh, Tinkle's back.
Welcome back, Tinkle. Anyway, the point being is, it's always nice to have interaction from a fan, and from the sounds of it, it looks like they're listening in live. But genuinely, all I can massively say in regards to this is thank you for the subject. So let's get on to that said subject, shall we?
Yeah, let's get on to it.
Hang on. I thought you were doing all this while I'd been away. What were you talking about for the last minute?
The introduction was longer than you thought.
Oh, right,
yeah.
okay.
And you may have rushed.
I did not rush. I was careful.
I hate to say this, but clearly football is on the TV at the moment because my next door neighbour is screaming, come on!
Oh, that probably means that bloody Wolves are bloody winning.
No. My next door neighbour's a Newcastle United fan.
Oh, he's one of the most sensible people on the planet. Good on him.
He wishes.
He wishes.
No, I'm saying if he's shouting at the screen, that definitely means fucking Wolves are winning.
All I'm just going to say is, talk about fair play, eh, JB?
Eh? What?
Okay, we are disappearing off the subject that we were just
Correct.
about to talk about due to but let's get back on track.
Let's talk about that for now, and let's, in the little section which I think is coming up straight after this, which is the non-wrestling section, let's talk about the football then.
Yeah, let's talk about the football then.
But for now, let's get on to the subject matter at hand, provided by the, thank you very much, the listener.
Yeah, which was Teak.
Yes.
Now, let's just say this. I believe was the question who has the best women's division?
Yeah, who has the best women's division? Between WWE, not just the separate brands, but as a whole.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I see. Well, obviously WWE does, because that. But if you separate the brands out,
I'm just saying NXT isn't WWE because it shouldn't be.
No, well, that's the thing. NXT has a spectacular women's division. NXT UK has a spectacular women's division.
Oh yeah, I'd agree.
I'm gonna say for this topic for us to make it even more difficult for us, expand them.
How do you mean?
Expand them. As in, instead of it being WWE, where WWE has Raw, SmackDown, NXT, NXT UK, it's literally Raw, SmackDown, NXT UK.
Well, you're saying they're all separate brands?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, we've got a choice of like 10. We've got NXT, NXT UK, SmackDown, Raw, and then all the other companies, AEW, TNA.
Yeah.
Does Ring of Honor even have a women's division?
Does New Japan?
Oh, New Japan. Lots of Japanese companies do, although I don't know so much anymore because don't companies like Stardom and Shimmer and like exclusively women's promotions kind of have all the best talent in Japan these days.
Yeah, they do that. They do. But the point being is, we're digressing again. But let's just.
So
get
who has the
on
best
to
women's
main...
division? Stardom and Shimmer, clearly, because they don't fanny about with any blokes. It's just women all the way.
Out of the main ones,
Out of the ones which have both genders, yes.
as in the one that has both genders.
I think it's a very close run thing, but I know for a fact out of the main promotions that it's a tie for the wooden spoon and Stone Cold Last between Ring of Honor and AEW.
Yeah.
And above that, there's not much between them.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I would say AEW tops it because one of my favourites women wrestlers at AEW is Dr. Britt Baker.
As in Mrs. Adam Cole.
Yes.
Baby.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Well, had to.
Yeah, you're just deliberately antagonising me so that I mention Aleister Black's Room of Candles, formerly Booker T's Room of Candles, aren't you?
Not going to get angry.
He's not going to get angry unless we mention that other.
No!
Do
not mention.
What other annoying thing? I'm just trying to think of all the stupid things and memes and like voice things that I've come up with.
His initials actually rhyme with something that is equally as useless. VR.
Oh, yes. Well, no, unless his middle name's Anthony. Unless his middle name's Anthony and then his initials are VAR, he might possibly be the most useless thing in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe you're more or less going down the route of VFR.
Yes.
But the F
Video football referee. That's what it should have been called.
Yeah. Anyway.
I just think it was very fucking rude.
Anyway.
Versatile fish recipe? Where are we going with this?
Right. Anyway, the weird thing about it is, and this is where I find it a little bit difficult because you've mentioned AEW as part of the worst women's division.
Yeah, the thing is though, I quantify that. What I mean is not the deepest and not the best. That doesn't necessarily mean it's shit awful and we should mock it. No, it's just lots of companies and indeed brands have better ones.
But I will say that it is not anywhere near what I would want it to be at this moment.
And given that they basically had a clean slate of every indie promotion, Stardom, all of them in the world to go, we want her, and we're going to cherry pick the absolute best. They didn't do a very good job.
Yeah, exactly. There is one or two of them that I cannot stand.
Right, come on, name names. I want this dirt. Right.
Personally, for me, I think AEW has some good women wrestlers on there.
Yeah, I want to know which ones Irvine hates. Come on, out with the dirt.
No, not
Come
yet.
on, we've well established the women wrestlers that I don't rate in the slightest.
Well, okay then.
Like possibly VFR's cousin with her right hand.
Right, so just a couple that I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
Big Swole.
Yeah. Okay.
Also known when she was in the Mae Young Classic by the far more sensible name of Ariel Monroe.
Yeah.
Married to Cedric Alexander, I believe.
Oh, yes. God. And then the next one is Chris Statlander.
Cue 90s Mark and Lard voice.
I believe she made an appearance, got injured, and ended up being out for a bit.
Ah, right,
yep.
Fair enough. She's sort of... who's that Lithuanian woman that was in WWE for about 5 minutes and was the prototype Lana? Is it Ascana or something like that? Anyway, that was in the dark days, pre the Women's Revolution, when they were all models and couldn't.
We'll discuss that. We'll discuss that shortly.
Yes. But yeah, I know. Okay, fair enough.
Oscana was the name, I believe it was.
Yes.
No, it was either Ascana or Ascana. Or something.
What? One of the two. Yeah. Anyway, her.
I'd like to ask Anna as well.
What?
Never mind.
Anyway, moving on. The weird thing about it is, AEW have actually got a not too bad women's division as in workers. My big issue with it is the fact that they're not doing anything fucking with it.
No, it's literally like tail end of the Attitude Era in WWE when they had 5 or 6 people that could actually go, and about 20 other. In the case of WWE, I'm not saying AEW has this, but 20 other women who were there on account of the fact that Vince McMahon found them attractive and who couldn't do shit. AEW doesn't have that. It just has the 5 or 6 who can go, who they're not doing anything with because they don't have any opposition.
Mm.
And here's the problem, though. They've actually got plenty of good workers on there, but they're not set up in the right position, not in the right angle, not ready for the moment. And then instead of having one of the local talents going for the title, let's reach out to a outside company, NWA, and bring in their champion, who, if I'm not mistaken, is Thunder Rosa.
Oh, right.
Far from it, absolute great worker, amazing worker, highly recommend, 100%. And the problem I have with this is the fact that AEW is meant to be marketed as one of the big company, is having to reach out to another company to borrow their talent to step up their own division,
Yeah.
which is barely even getting enough time.
This is the issue that I have. It's not that the sparse number of women that they have in the division are bad. They're not. They just need to take the NXT approach, which is, raid the indies, find the best, bring them on board, get them on there, let them shine.
However, they may have actually listened to the what you just said. Let's copy NXT and actually do something a little bit different. Oh, that's right. They actually made their own TV show, didn't they? If I'm not mistaken, Irvine.
Yeah, they did actually. Yeah.
And what did they do with that? That was absolutely stupid.
Yeah, they are trying to make you pay for it.
Oh, well, they created a pay-per-view thing.
No. A regular weekly episodic show.
But it's basically, it's kind of like, how whenever you get something even vaguely new and just been on TV and quite good on Amazon Prime, that on top of your $7.99 a month, you have to pay £2.49 an episode for, and you're like, fuck that.
Yep.
No, it's similar, but basically, certain people who are paying for AEW, like, let's see some women wrestling. No, you can't watch the women wrestling on AEW. You've got to go to, I believe it. What was it? Something.
Was it the heels? Heels.
Something heels. I'm just trying to think what it was called. AEW is it AEW? No.
I think it's just
Elite Heels. No, Elite Heels.
Elite Heels. That was it.
Elite Heels. Right.
The thing that annoys me the most is the fact that you only get 1 or 2 women's matches now on AEW, so I can't invest in women's wrestling in AEW.
So, because it's just...
Not when you're faced with, like, the shit shower of a gimmick that is Abaddon.
Who's injured now?
Who's now what?
Who is injured?
No, who? Who is?
Abaddon.
I don't know who that is.
It's literally, it's like...
Leave it.
It's like the Fiend just impregnated some weird person, and then they had a child and raised it as a fucked up baby.
Okay.
It's not a gimmick that you can invest in. It's stupid.
I'm going to be picking my words very, very carefully, so to take into account she's already thrown heat at a former WWE worker already.
I am trying to get my head around exactly what it is we're seeing here. Are we basically talking like the bastard love child of The Fiend and sort of
boogeyman.
early brown trousers mankind, but a woman.
No,
Well, yeah.
no, I disagree with you.
Okay.
Me personally, the gimmick, okay. If you're going to come in with that gimmick, you shouldn't be further down the card.
Oh, I get what you're saying. It should be immediately kind of like the sort of, sorry to not use a woman's reference here, but the first thing that came to my head, Samoa Joe in NXT kind of thing. Or, Desmond Wolfe in TNA. You come in, you go straight to the top.
Havoc in Impact Wrestling
Possibly.
is another good reference.
Yeah.
For a female wrestler. Gail Kim,
Yeah.
regardless of whichever company she's getting involved in. The point being is, with a gimmick like that, and to really, really push it.
I'm sorry, I just had a mental image of fucking Cameron Grimes at this point. I'm going straight to the moon!
Welcome back down to reality.
Right. The point being is, it needed to be pushed, and the problem is, it does look demonic as hell, quite literally. And the point being is, with a gimmick like that, they literally gone, we'll just fit that in the mid card. And I'm thinking to myself, no, because this person is actually trying to work on a gimmick. I can understand this.
It literally is the female Bray Wyatt then. It's like the most original thing on the show, and they have it lose every week on the mid card.
No.
So much so that he has to go away and completely reinvent himself because he gets so bored.
She's winning.
The thing with the character is that she has actually won matches, but they're not giving her any material to work with to further develop the character.
It's literally just, here she is, oh look, she's won, right, let's go for a commercial, and then let's fillet Cody Rhodes some more because he runs the company.
No, it's basically, she's on the show, let's not put her on the main show, she's on AEW Dark.
Well, she was actually on Dynamite this week.
Yeah, and then gets injured.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Which could be a reason why she, in their mind, she might, because with her being injured now from being on the main show, which could be possibly the reason why they might not be pushing her or don't have faith in it. But then if they're not having faith, if you're gonna be putting somebody, if you're gonna let somebody use a gimmick like that, you've got to have faith in them from the get go.
Not like Vince did with the Boogeyman.
What? Where he thought, that'll be funny, put it on television, and then 2 weeks later was like, God, this is boring. Why is this on my television?
No, it's like the serious version of the Boogeyman.
Yeah,
it's
like
basically
a Boogie Girl.
You mean it's basically like how can I sum it up in 2 sensible words? Joseph Park. It's like the side of Abyss that wears a suit and we have to take seriously. Fuck off! Just have him chokeslam people onto tacks. That's all we want to see.
No, but with her, she's actually wrestling seriously.
Yeah, that's the only thing. She's got the gimmick of the Fiend, pretty much.
It's getting the matches.
Well, it's like she's coming down with a full Fiend entrance and the red lighting, and then just fighting like Bray Wyatt.
No, but you're not far off, really.
It's sort of, she's coming down and she's not being given the material to work with.
Yeah, it's just like all she does is...
She doesn't have anyone standing with her and going, right, here's some names for your moves which fit your character. Here's some devastating moves which fit your character. Here's some mannerisms which would make you look more like you're trying to look.
No,
it's
but
just
she's
like...
No. This is the stupid thing. She's got the moves, she's got the mannerisms, she just doesn't have a quality opponent to go against.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. She had a match the other week. I can't remember who it was against, but I just remember the only way that she could actually get that gimmick over was for her opponent to be petrified of it. And it was cringe.
Oh, so we're talking in the levels of change of clothes, please, because Dakota Kai's peed herself again because Shayna Baszler's in the ring. Level of cringe.
Basically, it's almost like Santina Morella laughing at the Boogeyman in OVW when Jim Cornette was in charge of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting the point here. It's not working for reasons which could be easily remedied, but for some reason aren't.
It isn't. But the thing is, I think and this is where I think AEW is failing in the women's division, because they're not building anybody else up. They're just saying, oh, let's bring her in. Let's just bring her in. Let's bring her in.
Yeah, and when they're there, they're just like static islands that they don't try and give a storyline or anything.
Or they're using somebody else from another company, which is then promoting them.
Yeah.
And then they're probably doing trade deals, which can be working, but then straight away, the first thing that pops into my head is, if they're doing that between two other companies, anybody who's lower down on the card is going to sit there thinking, hang on, I've got a contract with you, why the fuck am I being kept down here and you're going elsewhere?
And you're bringing them in. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But anyway...
Right? And they can't turn around and say, well, you haven't done really well, but at the same time it's like, well I haven't done well because you haven't given us the chance.
It's kind of like, I could do better if you actually gave me some time to do something.
Translation, if you gave a shit.
Yeah. Right, okay. The problem that we're having here is, this is a very good and sensible and, for us, quite logical sort of analysis of why AEW are doing it wrong, but I believe what the listener asked was who gets it right. So, enough AEW and enough Ring of Honor, because as far as I'm aware, they don't have a women's division. Whose is the best?
No, they do actually have a women's division, which is Women of Honor. It's not actually the worst. I don't think they've actually got it. I think they may have got a championship. It's not too bad. I think ROH
it suffers from the same problem as AEW, in that it's just women fighting and they don't really give it any thought or any character development or any...
They sort of do, but it's mostly locked on. I think most people who have watched Women of Honor is most likely through the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Possibly. But anyway, the point being is, let's get on to the best, shall we?
Yeah, the best. Whose is the best out of NXT and NXT UK?
I think we're all gonna. I think me and JB will agree, but I don't think Matt Burns will. I'm gonna say NXT.
I'm going to honestly say, purely for not only for the fact that 70% of the Raw and SmackDown rosters are NXT graduates, and yet NXT still has the deepest and most talent-filled roster of women wrestlers currently anywhere. No, it's got to be NXT.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to disagree.
Good.
And
as if we all agreed, it'd be quite a short discussion.
No. And the reason being I disagree, it's a half disagree, because I can see why you're going to NXT, because the talent that is there absolutely outshines all the other companies, all the other segments and everything. But then again, are we classifying NXT UK within NXT or just separate?
No, separately.
Separately,
right?
because
NXT UK has got its own. It's got its own phenomenal roster, as it is absolutely amazing. But NXT does actually have a standout for the WWE side of brand things, which is absolutely phenomenal, and they're actually doing certain things that is interesting. Personally, myself, I think Impact Wrestling have done.
Say that.
You may have. They may not have the top the top world class superstars, but they're actually producing a little bit more and giving them a bit more time and breath of life on the screen.
Do they still call them knockouts? Because that is, I can't make up my mind whether that's genius or a massive, massive insult and it's holding them back.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Oh, okay.
Right. The scary thing about it is that deep. There's that much depth in. The weird thing about it is you've got that many workers. So the funny thing about it is Yes, they can have a program for 2 months with one person, but then they've immediately got a new challenger straight away.
Which is, of course,
A
what
new
you should
story.
aim for, and it's what AEW aren't doing.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. But then at the same time, aside from that, you've also got them also focusing on the women who aren't the champion either as well. Doing little, okay, they're doing some of it with segments and some of it with actual matches. But the point being is, I feel as though they've been doing more stuff for the women's division than you think.
Yeah,
And,
I get what you're saying. It's not just like, here's the two people fighting for the big gold strap and the hell with everyone else.
Yeah. They're actually giving a bit of time, and on top of that, it's like it's showcasing. And I know this might sound, it might even be considered controversial, take into account the fact that Impact Wrestling also had a woman be their Impact Wrestling World Champion.
Which, frankly, was a step in the right direction, I'm going to say, from my own personal perspective.
Although the reason why they are no longer champion is nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman.
No,
either.
It's entirely out of her control. It's to do with the state of the world at the moment.
And other stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel as though it's done more in the sense of trying to build it up. And the odd thing about it is they're doing it without even actually trying for it.
But that's how you should.
Yeah, exactly. It should just come naturally. It should just be like, we've got all these people here, and it really isn't a great deal of effort for what they produce to be good.
Yeah.
Much like NXT.
And they're doing it without the help of Charlotte Flair.
Which gives them a win in my book.
Damn you, Charlotte Flair!
We don't need you to be the champion for 5 minutes again just because you want another title reign. Go away.
And all that because she has earned it. She deserves it by what certain people, certain higher ups were saying. She deserves to be champion.
Because
not every fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I deserve to be a million fucking air, and I'm not.
Yeah, don't we all? This broadcast should have us all literally broadcasting from our solid gold broadcast rooms on the west wing of our mansions. Sadly, life doesn't work like that. Well, unless you're Matt Burns. I mean, we're both
I'm not rich, for God's sake.
We're both in hovels, but he's looking down at us from his tower.
Yeah, he's like, yes, look at you, peasants, yeah.
Yes. Where's my butler? I think it's tea time.
Where's my butler? Butler!
Jeeves! Jeeves, fetch my 11s.
Mr. Burns, did you know that you are the sole creator of Ask Jeeves? Yeah.
Just because my surname is the same one as the millionaire from The Simpsons doesn't mean I'm actually rich.
No, Smithers.
Excellent.
Can we move on? Can we move on?
My old Eddie over there has got the same name as a 90s Formula 1 driver. That doesn't mean I'd trust him anywhere near a bloody Ferrari. So I get your point.
Anyway, let's get back onto it. Personally, I agree with you on the NXT side of it. Absolutely phenomenal because they've always got something different.
Yes.
Me only problem I have with it is the fact that it's the fact that it's linked to WWE, and this is my biggest issue I have with it.
I'm sure Irvine will agree with me when I say if one more talent from NXT gets the absolute wind under their sails, makes it all the way to the NXT Women's Championship, and then goes up to WWE and just becomes numbers on a piece of paper, I may tear my hair out. But
yeah, and at the moment I've got plenty of hair that I don't want tearing out. Yeah. So
prefer it if they just left the talent where it is.
Yes, I would much also prefer it if NXT ceased to be a development thing which gets plundered. Although the recent draft would imply that they are heading towards that. And like Mr. Johnny Gargano, people genuinely were NXT for life.
Even though he was already pulled up, even though he was technically already pulled up to Raw already temporarily, but then sort of.
Well, during the invasion sort of angle where they had Survivor Series last year, yeah, and he was in the Royal Rumble, but
no, it was actually announced on WWE Raw, if I'm not mistaken, Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano were actually meant to be on the Raw brand.
Can I just ask you a question?
But they quietly slipped straight back into NXT
because
they had fuck all for them.
Exactly.
But,
as Keith Lee is finding out.
The main point with that one, do Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa currently have vaginas? No.
Thank you.
Valid point, sir.
Thank you. But anyway, let's go back to the original subject and just literally just state.
No, however, the point stands that plenty of women have had similar treatment.
Amber Moon. Ember Moon.
Yes.
Great person to pick. The fact that she went up to the main roster and sort of what did they do with her?
Fuck all.
The square root of bugger all.
And on top of that, it was like, okay, great. And this is where my massive issue comes in with NXT, is the fact that it is labelled as a development, and the fact that the second anyone gets transferred to the main rosters in Raw or SmackDown, they get absolutely buried. Want an example? One, Ember Moon. The fact that she was treated so badly, she's come back to NXT.
Well, no, to be fair, and to give both sides of the argument here, I'm fairly sure Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Bayley, and to a certain degree Charlotte Flair, will argue that they've got promoted to the main roster and done quite well for themselves. It's just unfortunately there are more misses than hits.
Yes. Right. You're about to say, I would agree. And okay, Alexa Bliss, okay, they're doing well for themselves. Yeah. Right, agreed. Asuka is doing... What was that?
Nothing.
Little Miss Bliss.
Right. Asuka is another person who's doing really well for themselves, unless she's against fucking Charlotte Flair.
Well, yes. Charlotte, the universal bring you back down to earth with a bump Flair.
Yeah, here we go. It's like, I'm going on an unbeaten run in the women's division in NXT. I am being called up to the main roster on Raw. I'm going to attack practically anybody that gets in my way. I'm going to
literally beat anyone they put in front of me, week by month, pretty much for a year and a half. And shit, Charlotte Flair, I quit.
I come across a prima donna in Charlotte Flair that does not like to lose to upcoming talent because my dad is Ric Flair.
Yes. Forgetting, of course, that all and sundry were fed to her when she was upcoming talent.
Yes.
Right.
Which makes the hypocrisy even bigger.
And then take into account, after they did that once, second time round, okay, Charlotte's not in the main event of WrestleMania. It is Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. Charlotte Flair still gets involved. Fucking hell!
Yes.
Oh, let's have her against Asuka. No.
Yep.
No.
Being shunned straight to the top, though, when you're in the women's division. Let's look at Ronda Rousey, shall we?
Oh, hello. I'm going to come in and do it the right way. I'm going to start at the bottom. Win. Oh, can I have a title match now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then here's my other problem I have.
I hope that when she has her child, she enjoys motherhood so much she never comes back. Genuinely. Yep. I want her to be happy with her child. I don't wish any ill upon her. I don't want anyone to think I do. I just hope she enjoys motherhood so much she decides to have 3 more, and that's her in-ring career finished.
Right. My problem I have right now, on top of that, is the fact that Who's champion right now on Raw?
Don't say it.
I don't know. Last time I looked, it was Bailey, but I know that. No, not
On
Bailey.
Raw.
Sorry, it was Sasha Banks, but I know that only lasted about 5 minutes. So
She lost.
she
Yeah.
won. Did she lose it back to who she won it from?
Yeah, ask her.
Is it Asuka?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah.
who's just recently got announced to being on Raw? Even though she wasn't actually, she's not been on for, she hasn't been on TV for a while
Because of reasons.
because of her surname.
Does her name rhyme with Barlet Hair?
A little bit, yeah.
Mm.
Which means, translation, why can't I just see her coming back and go, "Hi, I'm Charlotte Flair. Hi, Asuka, give me a match now. I beat you twice."
Don't give them ideas, Matt.
Oh
Bird.
no,
Seriously.
they've already done it. And you know what's going to happen? Asuka versus Charlotte Flair, round 3. Oh my god, the figure 8. Tap out again, for fuck's sake, and bury Asuka again.
Even though she's only just fought her way back from actually losing to her the first and the second time.
Yeah. It's frightening. So yeah, there you have the reason why, as good as the NXT Women's Division is, yeah, it's properly hit and miss if you get to WWE, which is why the Raw and SmackDown Women's Divisions, as stacked with talent as they are, aren't the best.
But here's the
And
problem.
it's a straight fight between TNA and NXT.
And you mean Impact. But anyway, we digress. That's being pedantic. But anyway, my problem why I don't pick NXT is the fact that you thought, okay, that's not going to happen.
Just to wind Matt Burns up there. No, we're talking about women. I very much mean TNA.
Oh, Mr. Burns.
I've annoyed Matt Burns quite essentially with my Vince Russo level sexism there, which I didn't mean, by the way.
Oh, you went there. You went there.
Did he just push the button?
Yeah, if I was you, JB, I'd never go in and sleep in the same room as Matt Burns because he will teabag you.
Teabag? What? He'll get a member of Retribution to beat me up,
Yeah, exactly. He will get.
which is a fate worse than death because they can't even do that properly.
Get him, teabag.
Breathe.
I think we need to
Breathe.
keep filling while Matt Burns continues to take deep breaths because I mentioned VAR
Yeah,
or VFR.
VFR.
Right. All I'm just going to say is my
Yeah.
biggest issue with NXT is the fact that you think it's safe from WWE and Charlotte Flair, and yet Charlotte Flair somehow invaded NXT using the Royal Rumble to then take over.
Yeah, but the thing is, it wasn't as bad as everyone feared because she did exactly what we hoped she'd do. Hi, I've won the big gold championship again. Oh, I've lost it again. Bye.
Yeah,
In record time.
wait. Are you ready for this? She wasn't pinned. So technically,
Stop.
she actually
giving-
has a rightful
Stop.
claim.
Giving them ideas.
No, but this is
Seriously.
WWE.
You hate
She
this,
actually-
and yet you're making it worse for yourself and easier for them by giving them reasons to put her back.
I know,
there.
but this is the problem. She actually has a legitimate reason why she can actually go back because one, she's never actually had a rematch, and secondly, she didn't actually lose the belt because she wasn't even pinned.
I thought we were done with rematch clauses in title matches.
That's
No, the thing
WWE,
is-
not NXT.
We are in mainstream,
Even though-
main roster WWE when it suits them.
And
Right.
take into account these still somehow fit in a rematch clause. Oh wait, that's it. I'm Charlotte Flair. She'll get any fucking match she wants.
Well, I don't understand that how that has reached its illogical conclusion with Jey Uso. I got buried so badly I'm still spitting out dirt, but for some reason I've got another match. I didn't even win, but I get a rematch.
I'm
That's how
really sorry
great
to
I
say
am.
this, but he's not female. Is it?
No, he's not, but the point is rematches, this particular section.
He got a rematch because he didn't actually acknowledge Roman Reigns. And this is the reason why we've got the... This should be the end. What?
Bullshit.
It should be the end. Should be the end. Should be. Anyway, let's continue
yeah,
anyway.
So to answer the listener's question, I think it's 2-1 in the room. We're not in the same room due to the wonders of technology, but in the Burning Truth room, 2-1. One says Impact, two say NXT, as to which has the best women's division.
But that's not to say that we don't think that Impact is actually doing a very good job.
Right. Well, I think they are doing a very good job, but genuinely,
really,
that's what I've just said. It's not. We're not saying that they're
we're
not.
not saying we think Impact are doing a bad job. We're just saying Impact are doing a good job. We just think NXT are doing a better job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, I think that we're going to leave it there.
I think that's probably wise.
Yeah.
It is. But there is one thing that we could have discussed on today's episode, which actually happened last night.
Okay.
Bound for Glory.
What was that? Bask in his glory, for he is limitless.
Bound for Glory, Impact Wrestling, actually happened last night.
Okay.
But we'll most likely probably cover that either on a later episode or when we go for a recall back.
Just as a quick aside, hi, WWE high-ups and officials in WWE Music Group. Give Keith Lee his NXT music back. What the fuck were you thinking?
They can't.
Why not? They made it whilst working for WWE. It is the intellectual property of WWE.
Actually,
especially bearing in mind because Keith Lee is the vocal artist on the track.
It is, but the problem is CFO is the one who actually owned the copyright, unfortunately, because WWE actually messed that one up, and because of it, that's the reason why they can't actually use it. Although Keith Lee is already in the studio getting a new song.
How is it, however, that they can have the choral thing of "Bask in His glory" before the generic shit metal kicks in?
Because that is actually was done not by CFO.
Oh, you mean like the overly
CFO
near enough Bobby Lashley music?
Well, take into account Bobby Lashley's music is now changed into the Hurt Business music, which is not CFO dollar. It's now with the Hurt Business now.
Yeah, you kind of missed what I pointed out there, is that Keith Lee's music is quite generic and it sounds just like Bobby Lashley's did.
What? Because it's just a piece of generic wrestle metal that could be anything.
It's like having diarrhea one week and then having diarrhea the second week. It just sounds slightly different as it comes out.
Because you ate, I don't know, let's say you had a meat feast pizza the first week, but you thought you'd try the takeaway again and you had a Four Seasons the second week, but the end result was the same.
So basically what you're trying to say is they might have pulled off another, Razor Ramon having a car crash entrance music. Oh wait, Mick Foley has a car crash entrance music at the beginning as well. Who is it this week?
Eh?
Did nobody notice that Razor Ramon actually had a car crash?
He had screeching tyres, but then he had sort of what you could arguably say was a hip-hop backing track.
Yes,
Mick Foley had heavy metal guitars. They were hardly the same music.
No, but the screeching tyres.
Yeah, but if you actually sit and think about it, has anyone actually stopped and listened to Ricochet's music immediately after they listened to the abomination that is Lars Sullivan's entrance music? They have quite a lot of similar elements.
Take into account that CM Punk, the music that he had before he went to Living Colour, his music that he had when he was in ECW is the exact one that Randy Orton had for 1 week.
Kill Switch Engage.
Yes.
Yeah, that Randy Orton had because he hated his original music before he got his current one.
He had it for a week and he hated it so much. Change it. Don't like it. Give it somebody else.
Anyway, moving swiftly on.
Anyway, basically, I think that is most likely a good way to get into now from there.
The show, which is the
next section.
Non-wrestling section.
Am I leaving? Am I staying? What is it?
I don't know. Well, some of the things we need to talk about might be to do with sports that you follow or real life things that you've done. But the main one today, I think the mention of Keith Lee's former entrance music was appropriate because, oh, bask in his glory, for he is limitless, and he is now the record holder. And Irvine knows who I'm talking about.
Anybody?
92 Formula One victories, now the all-time record holder. After his win in the Portimao, the Portuguese Grand Prix earlier today, Lewis Hamilton stands alone.
He does stand alone.
He has now eclipsed Michael Schumacher by one, and it's going to be a hell of a lot more than one by the time he's finished. And he has 92 all-time Formula One wins, which is one more than Michael Schumacher managed.
Mm-hmm.
There have been 1,030 odd Formula One races since 1950. Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher, between them, have won 183 of them. You just want an idea of how dominant those two are.
Which is, if anybody, it's like if you compared it to how many people have won the WWE title multiple times.
Yeah.
Or Charlotte Flair.
Or Charlotte Flair over the last so many years. It's like that's how dominant them two racers are.
Yes. Of the last two generations, they are literally, they sweep all before them. And Lewis Hamilton has beaten every single other one of Schumacher's records, bar one, which he will at the end of this season, which will be, he'll equal the record of 7 championships. Mm-hmm. And so it's, to be honest, when Schumacher set the record of 7 championships and 91 wins, much like, I forget who it was, who's the Sky Sports F1 pundit who said as much, I didn't think it was going to get beaten in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So to have it happen barely 15 years later is quite impressive.
Yeah.
It is, but I don't think it will be broken again for a very, very long time now.
If you bear in mind, as and when Hamilton decides he's had enough, probably, my guess, although I don't know this for sure, is this time next year, shortly after he's claimed title number 8 and basically nailed himself on as the greatest of all time. Basically, you have got Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, possibly Sergio Perez if he keeps his drive. I'm just trying to think. Daniel Ricciardo, Max Verstappen, whoever gets the other Red Bull drive, be it Pierre Gasly, all these people who are all in a position they can win races if they get a car underneath them. So there isn't going to be one dominant force anymore post-Hamilton, I don't think.
No, it's going to be very, very hard.
I think Max Verstappen is going to be the most, the driver that wins the most, but I don't think he's going to have it all to himself like Hamilton has, by any stretch.
No, I think Ricciardo's a good racer as well. So
Ricciardo's a great racer. Lando and Carlos are both great. Charles Leclerc, if he actually has a Ferrari that isn't based on a tractor, will be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a promising looking future, definitely. But also, I have to ask, because I don't want this to just be me ranting, Irvine, what is your opinion about Red Bull basically deciding that they're going to buy the intellectual property rights to the engines from Honda so that they can keep developing them so that they don't have to go back to having Renault power because neither side wants that after the fallout from last time?
Nobody wants Renault-powered engines. Nobody.
As pretty much evidenced by the fact that the only other team on the grid that currently has them, besides the Renault factory team, is McLaren, and they're going back to having Mercedes engines next year.
Yeah, shock horror.
Yeah. No, but the point being, Red Bull are planning to buy the intellectual property rights and the factory from Honda, and there's an Austrian company that apparently Helmut Marko knows the boss of or something that they're going to get branded as.
Yeah.
I think that's a missed opportunity because I think they could bring back the name Toro Rosso for the engines, personally. But anyway, the point is they're going to do it in-house. But if they do that, what they want is a freeze on development to cut costs.
Yeah.
How likely do you think that is to happen, bearing in mind Ferrari have invested most of their spare cash from the last 3 seasons on building a whole new engine for next season.
I don't know how long. I mean, the thing is with them buying it, if it is successful and they go ahead with it, I can't see it myself.
Well, the thing is, I can see them doing it, and I can see it working if they get the engine freeze, because currently, with the exception of Mercedes, who are slightly ahead, but if you can see from the Force Indias and what are the other team they've got, Mercedes, Williams and whatever, they're only allied to the Mercedes chassis. Is it that dominant? You know, the engine's a pretty level pegging at the moment.
Yeah.
I think if they freeze the development now, I don't think it'd do too much damage. I think it'd be best for the sport in the short term.
Yeah, well, in the short term, it'd be great.
Yeah, like for the next 4 years until the 2025, when the 5 years, when the next regulation of engine change is due to happen.
Yeah, if they freeze it up until that point, then I think that would be pretty good going.
If they freeze it, or they introduce perhaps like the token system like they had before, whereby you can develop one part of the engine every year, rather than just spending all your money developing every single bit of it. So that, say for example, Ferrari's energy recovery bit isn't quite as good as Mercedes, they can develop that, or you know, but not just constantly bring new parts to the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if anyone doesn't understand what we're talking about, it's like if you're a gamer and you've got an Xbox 360 and you're going up to the Xbox One, you've got, but you can only renew the whole thing after so many years.
Yeah, it's like basically once you've got the Xbox One, that's it until the Xbox
X Series.
Yeah.
So the Xbox Fast and the Furious, or whatever it's called, the Xbox
X Series.
The Xbox 2, this time it's serious, or whatever they're calling the new one.
X Series.
I'm being sarcastic. I could hear you. Don't panic. Yeah, like for example, like me, for example, I bought an Xbox One day one in 2013. I still have the exact same console.
I still got the original
I could have
Xbox.
bought an Xbox One S or an Xbox One X and upgraded for a bit faster processing and a bit more of smoothness. But
I've still got an Xbox One.
My
Original.
day one Xbox One from September 2013 hasn't broken yet, touch wood. I see no point in spending money replacing it.
Is that a dig at me?
Why? Did yours break?
Yes.
Yeah, because that wasn't knowingly, because I didn't know that, but okay.
I'm upset about it.
He spilt nail varnish on it down into the fan.
What is it with you and that damn nail varnish?
I wasn't going to ask what he was doing with nail varnish, but okay.
What is it with you and nail varnish? Why'd you keep mentioning nail varnish?
It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
You've been watching too many films.
Congratulations for a reference that goes straight over my head.
The lambs, Clarice, the lambs.
Lambs.
Anyway.
And what's your neighbour got to do with this?
Never mind.
Moving swiftly on.
Anyway, what we were saying was about...
The point is, it's just basically, it's an unnecessary... The bit that powers the car doesn't need to have loads of money spent on it, especially when we're in a particularly good place right now where the levels of performance are pretty damn close.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what Red Bull are saying makes sense. It just remains to be seen if Ferrari, Renault and Mercedes, funnily enough, quite surprisingly, seem all in favour of it.
Yeah, I'm surprised, actually. I thought they'd want to be on the ball every year because they've got enough money to do it.
Yeah, but I know, but maybe they feel that they've proved their point now. 7 consecutive drivers and constructors championships, or whatever it'll be this year. I think it's 7 of each on the spin. It's the most successful they've ever been. I don't think they feel the need to, worry too much anymore. They've proved their point.
Yeah, I always thought, though, that when Hamilton made his move from McLaren, I always thought that, oh, it's going to be a bad move, that is. And actually, it was one of the smartest moves of his career.
Believe it or not, around about the time it happened, I had a radio show where I used to live, near where you guys are, on Six Towns Radio. Look it up. Which
Woohoo!
talked about motorsport, and we did say at the time, me and my co-host at the time did say, either he knows something the rest of us don't about how good that engine's going to be, or he's just committed career suicide.
Yeah, and that was exactly my thought as well. When he made that move, that was exactly what I thought.
Yeah. And it turns out he was obviously shown blueprints or shown performance figures or something that, yeah, that weren't the rest of us weren't party to.
Oh,
The
dear
phrase shown
Lord.
blueprints has made Matt Burns laugh. I'm confused.
Oh, dear Lord. Incoming message.
Something tells me he's reacting to something we're saying.
Yeah.
No. Incoming message. I'm just going to reply to it, and it's from Teak, by the way. Don't worry, we will. Which is the fact that Teak just mentioned, how the hell does JB not know Silence of the Lambs? Someone please movie educate him.
Yeah.
Quick defence here. There's a difference between not knowing it, which I do, and not being able to endlessly quote tweet it, okay? Thanks. Just because I can't immediately tell you every line doesn't mean I haven't watched it and don't approve.
I'm a massive fan of Bottom, and even I don't know as many lines as you know as through Bottom. And I'm like, what the hell's going on?
No, Eddie, no, it's just the way I'm standing.
Looks like
Yeah, I know what
JB's
you're saying, but the point is...
Looks like JB's forgetting his
of
lines in Scene 2, Act 3.
Pardon?
Looks like you're forgetting your lines from Scene 2, Act 3.
I have absolutely no intention of rubbing it in, young man.
Week after week, year after year, slime in this ear, slime in that ear. Do you not have a yarn for change?
Come on, they'll be closed. Do you want to give me the feed line again in front of all your friends?
Anyway.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I don't come to where you work and laugh at you.
Anyway, let's
Except in this instance, in a nice link into the thing, that is what our beloved listener is doing at my expense. So, no, I know the film, I just don't know the lines, okay?
Oh, good Lord. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. The fact that it's like a proper, it's just, how the hell?
I can actually imagine the face literally looking into space, just going with one raised eyebrow, just going, "What the fuck? How does he not know that?"
Piss
is
off,
just
you second-rate Formula One driver. Go away.
That is just absolutely brilliant. I just love it. I just absolutely love it. But anyway, genuinely, I don't know how we're going to continue. We've got to move into the next subject.
Anyway, we've done the Formula One chat now. Yeah, congratulations, Lewis Hamilton, all-time Formula One wins, record holder, and probably 7-time champ at the end of this season. That's like 80% secure. So let's move on to the all-time fail or epic awesome moment of Death and Wonder feature that isn't called that because it's far more succinct, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Even though technically it could have almost led to it.
I wonder if Hangman Page got his name from that.
Oh, fuck. All I was going to say, in case if anybody hasn't picked up on the slight references from Irvine in multiple times throughout this entire show.
Swinging in the tree, swinging in the tree.
I don't know about you, but I'm hanging on his every word here, waiting what he's going to say next.
Woo! You swing me right round, baby, right round. Like the boss man, right round, round, round. And anybody get it?
That's
Anybody?
it.
I'm just
That's it. Dead.
right.
Sweet Jesus.
Right. Let's just keep.
Oh Christ, no, Herbert, go away.
No. All I'm just
Get
gonna
back
say
in
is
your box.
right. All I'm just gonna say is the moment that we were referring to is from the worst Hell in a Cell match, which was at WrestleMania. We've already mentioned the date, which is when the Undertaker, beating, the Big Boss Man, decided to then all of a sudden have the Brood be on top of the cage, throw down a rope, shall we? Oh look,
Yes.
we'll tie it round Boss Man's neck.
I
And
didn't
Yeah.
realize the Big Boss Man was,
no.
was
No.
in a BDSM. Sweet Jesus.
All I'm just going to say is to then have the cage raised and lift the Big Boss Man by his neck while he's hanging from a noose.
Yeah, right
And
up
having him
there
turn
with
purple.
right up there with nailing Raven to a cross in ECW for. You didn't think that through, did you? Legal minefields.
And yet, it's still not the most offensive thing that's happened on wrestling.
Well, I'd say another one that runs it close also featured the much missed Big Boss Man.
No. Just no. Just no.
And also the Big Show.
Just no. No.
I'm just waiting for the penny to drop and see if Irvine knows what I'm talking about.
No. We'll save that for another week.
Sweet Jesus.
Because at the same time, that's also an absolutely comical moment as well.
Yeah, but it's also horrific.
It's horrific.
But anyway,
It's comical in the sense, but it's comical because something really bad happens, but it's in poor taste.
It's in almost as bad taste as this week's epic fail moment. Yes.
Yeah, but anyway.
But that's that. Yeah, hanging
I've
the
only-
Big Boss
I've
Man
just-
was never going
I'm-
to do
I'm
anyone
now-
any favours.
I am now thinking back. How many fail moments of angle moments has Big Boss Man had?
Well, that's two right off the top of my head. I mean, there must have been a few more.
All I'll just say is the storyline involving a dog. But we'll not mention that anymore.
Oh, you mean the storyline that ties into the Hell in a Cell matches?
No, it doesn't. That was not a Hell in a Cell match.
No, but I mean, it involved the cell structure.
Yes,
But
we're not.
yes.
But it's not. No. We'll
Yeah,
save that for another
the Boss
week.
Man had quite a lot of awful moments. That's all we'll say there.
Unforgettable moments.
And what?
Unforgettable moments as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, was he a bit like Mick Foley in ECW when he apparently got amnesia?
A little bit, actually. No, he, in the words of Austin, was that Big Boss Man was supposed to have been coming down to the ring to intervene at some point, and so he could have a feud with the Big Boss Man. And the Big Boss Man was actually mesmerised by the match that Austin was having, that he forgot to go down to the ring and intervene.
Well, he was just stood at
No!
Gorilla watching it on TV with his jaw open, catching flies.
Honestly. And I was like,
Oh, that's hilarious.
it's so funny. He was that mesmerised. And then when Austin was like, you son of a bitch, where were you? And he was like, I'm so sorry. I forgot. I was that mesmerised by the match that you were having.
Right. So instead
Oh,
of
that's
one, we've ended up
fantastic.
getting two.
What was that?
Instead of getting one epic moment, one epic fail moment, we got two.
Two for the price of one. Everybody wins.
Why not?
One.
And with that, we really need to wrap it up because what was going to be a quick episode has turned into our usual length.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, let's just digress and jump straight into it. Next week, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to have the WWE Hell in a Cell Fallout.
Unfortunately, not featuring me. Because, yet again, real life is intervening. on
Yep.
my broadcasting capabilities. But rest assured, I shall say no more, as in I won't say why, but rest assured I'll be back the week after, and with good measure.
We may have to change your seating around to third seat now.
Oh, I see. It's like that, is it?
I'm joking.
Surprised after all the nail polish jokes that I've made, he's still.
Oh no. The thing is, right, today at least, you can literally pour all the nail polish in the world on him, and then Davy Boy Smith him into some dog crap, and you won't get away with it. You'll get away with it because you didn't mention VFR.
Correct. You mentioned his name. You shouldn't have done that. But anyway.
That's very fucking real.
We digress. But anyway, next week is going to be we're going to be JB short, but we're still going to be on, and that will be the WWE Hell in a Cell Fallout.
Yes.
But on top of that, the week after will be even more interesting. But we'll mention why next week.
Yes, but I will be back for that. Do not worry.
Woo-hoo! Definitely. But anyway, let's just jump into plugs. Please check out UKWA, also known as UK Wrestling Alliance. Please also check out charitable organisations like Changes for Health and Wellbeing, Changes Recovery Radio, Mind, Message for Mind, Donna Louise Hospice Care for Children and Young People, and Cancer Research UK. We of course also recommend you check out the lighter side of wrestling, be it Botchamania, you're welcome Matthew, and of course WrestleCrap.
Nice one, RD.
And OSW Review, lads. You're welcome, lads, and especially, What Bar? But anyway, we'll leave that there. And we, of course, also recommend you check out many other broadcasts, and I think be it either any of the many ones done by Magic Mark Adams, be it Polo Pass Radio, Don't Say the C Word, or any of the others. We, of course, also recommend you check out We the Independent, that's with an IE, not a Y, hosted by none other than Sugar Duncanton, Pineapple Pete, or many of the other names he seems to be developing on Twitter with the new look and new attitude, which I will say is interesting. Which is very interesting. But anyway, let's keep going and jump into Think Wrestling as well. Check out especially the Talking Wrestling interviews, which is hosted by none other than Tom Baker. And no, we're not talking about the former Doctor.
We do not mean the Fourth Doctor, no. We mean my broadcast colleague at the UKWA commentary table.
Correct. And of course, we also recommend you check out Train Pop Culture for many other topics as such, as they do wrestling, movies, TV, and also alcohol quite a bit. And of course, if you've got some anger you need to get off your chest, also check out Hatred Theory, because somehow they always have a hatred-filled episode, and yet somehow would make it absolutely epically funny.
Yes. They managed to take literal disgust for things and make it entertaining in a way that we try and emulate, but they're just on another level.
Pretty much. Who knows? May have to have them on as special guest sometime. Could be interesting.
Epic. I'd be up for that. Although I don't think it'd have to take some planning, because how many of them are there?
There's two.
So 5 of us
three.
trying to all work out when to speak. It would potentially be a shit show.
It would be more than 5 because you've got Herbert as well.
And their
Eddie
producer.
and Richie are here as well.
And
Yeah.
don't forget their producer Dan, which is also so technically yeah. We could sort something out. But anyway, the point being is who knows, it could be interesting. We of course also recommend you check out Kayfabe Music, as their music is absolutely amazing. You want to know how good it is? The theme song for The Burning Truth is done by them. We of course also recommend you check out Powered 4 TV. Yes, Powered 4 TV, where you can watch multiple wrestling shows, multiple wrestling content. That is massively building all the time. We, of course, also recommend you check out local wrestling promotions, be it the SCW, United Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Feud, Future Shock Wrestling, Academy Pro Wrestling, Fallen Star Wrestling, Venom Wrestling Federation, Slam Wrestling, Wolf and Pro Wrestling, Barracks Wrestling Academy,
Woohoo!
and many, many others.
And
in case if I've missed any off, I do apologise, but there's an app for it, be it none other than Babyface Wrestling app, which is actually available for the best price. And how much is that, JB?
Absolutely fuck all. I mean, free.
Correct. And it's also where you can potentially also check out any wrestlers who are on there and follow them, and also wrestling companies.
You can also follow wrestlers, I believe Mr. Matt Burns just mentioned that, including a certain Mr. Hey, it's coming up to Halloween soon, so let's call him Batmerns.
Batmans. I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
Hi, I'm Batmerns. Halloween gimmick special. And this is NXT Halloween Havoc.
Here we go. Where is he? Where is he?
Oh my god. I am not going to explain why I'm laughing right now, but all I'll just say is something that happened on Twitter today is just, you just referenced it without even knowing it, and it's absolutely hilarious.
I just referenced it by swapping around the letters of the first two letters of your names.
Pretty much. Well done.
Wow.
Anyway.
Okay, Bat. Whatever you say.
All I'm just going to say is let's just push on, shall we? In the fact that check out the Burning Truth website, which will be www.theburningtruthuk.com. Yes, you can literally look up some of the blog section, which is where the entire reviews that we've done in the past has been transsectioned over. We've also got predictions on there, and of course, you can also listen to the Burning Truth, to the Burning Truth on there when we're live or any past episodes. Lastly but not least, we need to state out the external links that are on there we cannot be held responsible for because we do not have any control over them. Please do not hold us responsible. And on top of that, we have social media, which we are on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. And in case you want to listen to any past episodes, you don't just need to use the website. We, of course, also got Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Deezer, and many other sources. However, additional news, there is a possibility that the Burning Truth could very well be on, I believe, Amazon Music and possibly Audible in the future. As when that happens, we will be making that announcement.
Holy crap, that's a big one, so keep your ears peeled for that.
Yes.
And of course, that is...
Sorry. Once again, distracted by Twitter. Do carry on.
All I'm just going to say is that's going to be a wrap-up for this week. And as always, our mental health message is always going to be, it is okay to be not okay. Asking for help isn't a weakness. Finding out that, just by asking people, you can end up finding out you've got more people caring for you more than you could ever know.
Indeed. And what's that quote from the guy from Cultaholic?
Oh, you mean, actually, before we get to that quote, Ivan, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I did actually. I wanted to say, before we carried on, from the Raven thing, when he was nailed to a cross.
Yes.
I wonder if he was thinking to himself, "Sweet Jesus."
No comment.
He literally had to just shoehorn in a Herbert reference there. Yeah. Top work.
I just have to.
The fact that Kurt Angle was so upset he walked out. But anyway, never mind.
And nearly quit wrestling entirely.
Pretty much. But anyway, I believe my colleague was referencing from Cultaholic Tom Campbell, being never compare your behind the scenes to other people's greatest hits. And correct. Oh my God, I just realised we actually missed one piece of news and I've only just remembered it. Good Lord, it's a biggie because it's to do with Bound for Glory. Because guess who appeared on Impact Wrestling?
Bound for Glory. Sorry, that doesn't fit.
Guess who appeared on it?
Guess who appeared on Impact Wrestling? Could it be the most electrifying man in all of sports entertainment?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Finally, The Rock has come to a third-rate wrestling promotion that Vince McMahon no longer disapproves of because AEW exists.
Yes, The Rock was on Impact Wrestling, and basically to talk about Ken Shamrock being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's
probably and one other former WWE stalwart, I'm sure.
Yeah, but anyway,
Mick Foley
but anyway, we digress. All I'm just going to say is let's continue on. We, of course, also always state make yourself a priority once in a while. It's not selfish, it's necessary. And, of course, if you could be anything at this moment in time, especially at this time, please be more kind.
Be more kind. Sweet Jesus.
You anything you want to add on to that, JB? Or shall we leave it there?
And if you can't be kind, just remember rule number 1 of progress: don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Or
Or I'll see you next Tuesday. What?
no, naughty man.
I never said the words.
You can't say that word. It's not allowed.
Oh, rude.
But anyway, with all that being said, I'm going to say that is going to be a wrap up for this week.
Yeah, apparently it
we
is.
hope
I'm
you
going
all-
to go and hide under a rock before Irvine comes and hits me for swearing.
All I'm just going to say is, all of you please stay well, stay safe, and hopefully catch you on the next episode. And of course, always check out your local wrestling promotions. But at the same time, also please call out, give a call to a family member, a friend, a colleague, or even anyone you haven't spoken to in a long while. Even if it's not a call, just a message, it could actually prove massively useful and make their day. And with that, that's a wrap up. And generally, we will be back next week. Just myself and Irvine. It has been emotional. Thank you for listening to The Burning Truth. We will catch you next week. Until then, catch you later.
Ta-ta now. Bye-bye then.